Well, back home, the Health Secretary has said his department will look carefully at the evidence after claims the inquiry into deaths at Gosport Hospital ignored information about the use of faulty syringes for administering drugs. A whistleblower reportedly told the Sunday Times the evidence of their use in Gosport had been buried and that thousands of people across the country could have died because of their use. Well, Sky's Olivia Kinsley, as you can see, is in the studio with me now, and the deeply concerning thing about this, Olivia, is that the scandal could be much further and much deeper than initially thought.
Yeah, so on Wednesday we learned that at Gosport War Memorial Hospital there may have been as many as 650 deaths because of the use of powerful opioids. What's being alleged in the Sunday Times today is that, in fact, it could be a far, far wider scandal with as many, well, thousands of potential patients losing their lives because of faulty syringe pumps. This is, as you say, being alleged by an unnamed whistleblower, apparently from the Department of Health, who says that until 2015, when they stopped being used, there may have been as many as 40,000 of these faulty syringes in circulation within the NHS. What they were supposed to be doing was administering drugs very slowly so that doctors and nurses didn't have to do it manually. But instead it says that because of these faults, in some cases a whole day's worth of drugs were being administered just within 1 hour. If that's not shocking enough, that this whistleblower is also claiming that the report just published on Wednesday left this detail out because of fears of a national scandal. The Gosport panel has denied these allegations, saying they are unfounded. This morning, the Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, was also asked how he could be sure there was no cover-up.
We're going to look very, very carefully at all the evidence that comes forward, and we need to be absolutely certain that the NHS does react as quickly as possible when you have suggestions that a piece of equipment is not safe. And as I say, the information I have this morning, I only saw this story this morning as well, is that urgent guidance was sent out in 2010 and they were finally removed from use in 2015, but we will look at whether that was as quick as it should have been.
Potentially a deeply worrying situation there, Olivier, and we've also heard today from Norman Lamb, who was a former care minister under the coalition government, and he's a man who's really been central in getting this inquiry off the ground in the first place.
Yeah, so Norman Lamb is today saying that another report, which was eventually published in 2013, the Baker Report, he's claiming that in fact it was ready and completed in 2003, but wasn't then published for a decade and was kept under wraps. And he's also saying that calls for a full public inquiry were originally blocked by the Department of Health as well. If that is true, that would seem to me to be a further insult to the families who've campaigned long and hard for so many years to finally get the details and the truth of what actually happened at Gosport.
OK, Lorna, we'll leave it there for now, though. Thanks very much, Lorna Shattuck, joining me in the studio.